Alright, so close to about 1 year ago, I talked to you guys about a little product called the Hollyland Lark 150. Essentially, it is a wireless lavalier system, a 2-in-1 wireless lavalier system that works pretty much in line with like your Rode Wireless Go, your DJI mic, that kind of thing, with some very ahead of its time features, if you call it. Charging case, so with just one wire you're charging essentially the whole system. Gain control by physical knobs over here instead of your usual press and hold button. A set of lavalier clip mics which work very well. Audio sounds very nice. Since then, Hollyland came up with a new product called the Hollyland Lark M1. So disclaimer alert, this I won from a Facebook members page thing that they had. So I'm really excited to get this one because actually I'm just more curious than anything. I just want to know if this is a step up, a side step, or a step down from my daily driver, the Lark M150. Oh, comes in a nice little box. Some wind muffs, separating thing here. You got two types of cables that depending on what your connection is, it can be direct to a camera, it can be to a recording device as well. So they give you a TRS and a TRRS. Of course, a little USB-C charging cable, very useful. Why? Because like the M150, one cable charges the whole thing. Same goes for the M1. Oh, very sleek little packaging, very small and light. It's a lot lighter weight than the 150, of course. And then when you open it up, three pieces over here, very small and light. The moment you put it inside, it will light up to tell you which ones are charging, which ones are full. And it's slightly magnetic, so there's no real need to worry about like things being out of position or whatsoever. Fancy little case, almost like one of those in-ear earbuds sort of thing. Once you flip it open, there's a light indicator to tell you how much battery there is in the case itself. If there's really something to complain about, the lid feels kind of flimsy, a bit rattly, but what's inside, that's what matters. You have one receiver and two transmitters. When you use it with the receiver, you will see a blinking light and a solid light. Solid light indicates that it has been paired. So the moment I take out the second piece, bling, now it turns solid. So it's easy to look at lah. Let's look at the receiver. Over here, you have the power button and the output port here. This goes into your camera, goes into your phone, or any other device that you have. Over on this side, you have two buttons, the pairing button as well as the mode switch button, which functions as a volume rocker as well. There are only three volume settings here, high, medium and low. It starts off default at low. If you don't know what you're set at, my suggestion, just keep going until you hit low, go medium and then stay there. Most importantly, what to look out at is the mode switch button. What mode are we switching between? Essentially, we're talking about stereo and mono basically. So if you press and hold the button here, the light will change. If it's in blue, it's in stereo. If it turns green, anytime now, if it turns green, it becomes mono. Mono means that your left and right audio are mixed together. Generally speaking, you don't really want to do that because you always want the flexibility of sound mixing, right? But for the sake of like maybe easier live streaming, whatsoever it is, maybe you want to try going into mono then. Otherwise, I'll stick to stereo myself. That is when you're recording into your camera or your devices, it will be split into left and right channels within your audio track. So you have mic 1 in the left track, mic 2 in the right track. Very similar to the M150 over here. So one of the difference between the M1 and the M150 is that the M1 only has 3 volume settings, low, medium and high. Whereas for the M150, you can go anywhere from 1 dB all the way up to 20 dB. Quite a massive difference over there for very minute differences, because anywhere in between the low, medium and high steps, you're gonna have to compensate with the camera. And if you're using a not so good video camera, the preamps are pretty much gonna mess up the whole audio. This is the 150 versus the M1. It's a bit longer. There's a larger microphone here. I don't know if it sounds better in that aspect. The M1 doesn't have a lavalier or 3.5 jack. So that's something to take note of. On the device itself, power button. There's also a yellow button here. This is the HearClear noise cancelling function. So basically, the microphones that come with the M1 have a built-in noise cancelling algorithm built into the device. HearClear. Green. Press it again. Back to blue. Normal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to the M1. We'll have a very quick listening test to see how it sounds. Without adjusting any of the audio settings, this is what it is right now. It looks like I'm peaking a little bit, so I'm going to bring that setting down to low. So with one press, now it is in low setting. I think it sounds a lot better, it looks a lot better over here. And it is in mono mode right now. One thing I realized that is missing in the M1 compared to the 150 is that there is no safety track mode. Safety track refers to keeping your audio on one track and a -6 version of that at a right track, so that in case people become a little bit too shouty or whatsoever it is, you don't lose the audio, it doesn't become too loud. Next, let's try the ambient noise feature, the HearClear noise cancelling function. What I'm going to do is I will play some, let's say this is a noisy cafe background and I'm talking, right? You can't really hear it properly, I'm assuming. So with this one press of the button, I'm gonna turn it into HearClear pre-voice. It's green now, which indicates that HearClear is turned on. How do I sound? Do I sound better? Do I sound worse? Can you even pick up what I'm saying? I'm gonna turn it off and then compare it with post-production to see if it sounds better. Let's do this with the DaVinci Resolve noise reduction. Simple noise reduction, let's see if it sounds any better. And for comparison, this is the M150. Right, so this is the built-in mic. Blah blah blah, let's see how it sounds. I think it's gonna sound pretty okay, pretty much the same. Blah 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 blah. Noisy cafe. Maybe it sounds even better already. I'm not sure. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay, so that is the M1. This is the M150. These are the first-hand differences that I see as an end user. Is it a step up? Is it a step down? To be frank, I really wouldn't want to categorize it that way. I know it's a super PC answer, but it is what it is. It is the truth. And the reason why is that you just have to bring the tools for the occasion. For example, if I'm working on something a little bit more high level, a little bit more pricey, and it requires me to have a certain level of control over my audio, this is the one that I'm definitely going for. Why? Because I can control the exact gain on each of the two mics. I can even do a safety track if I'm just doing one person speaking. On the other hand, while this M1 does not have those features, it does pack a little feature, which is the clear voice. So if I want to do a very casual, very quick shoot, this is definitely the one I will go for. In fact, I realized once it's warmed up, the clear voice technology actually removes background noise even better than the default DaVinci Resolve noise reduction. So yeah, of course the only drawback here, one of the key drawbacks is that fact that you cannot attach a lavalier microphone here. And that means that you are essentially stuck with flashing. You are essentially stuck with flashing this big microphone out. And the logos are available on both ends. The logo is visible on both ends. This is quite a headache to try to mask away if you're doing something a little bit more high budget. But you know what, if it's for a personal vlog, who cares, right? So long as it sounds good, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts about the M1 versus the M150. I'll probably continue using both of them. I mean, yeah, why not? So yeah, that concludes my thoughts on the M1 versus the M150. Thank you Hollyland for choosing me to be one of the recipients of this M1 Duo kit. Doesn't affect my review of this product. I love it as it is. Whether or not you had given it to me or not, I would probably still have gotten it myself. So yeah. What about you? Would you be going for this?